There's also that breaking news we have to tell you about in Gaithersburg tonight. That massive blast destroying homes and injuring 14 people, leaving at least one man dead. For 2 days, investigators have been combing through that rubble of the Potomac Oaks Condominiums, and tonight they brought us some new answers that is also leading to new questions. Police now classify that blast as a suicide.
Bruce Lachant has been on this story since Wednesday. He is live in Gaithersburg, where officials just made that shocking revelation to all of us about 15 minutes ago. And before they made the announcement, though, Bruce, you had been hearing that this was a distinct possibility.
Yeah, right, Leslie. The police chief just confirmed what we reported about an hour ago. Police believe that this was a suicide. The medical examiner has actually determined that the cause of death in this case for Juan Pablo Marshall Quizon, a 36-year-old, the cause of death is suicide. The manner of death, smoke inhalation, and thermal injuries, that's burns. And apparently Quizon was despondent prior to this. His mother called 911 saying that he was suicidal. That call came after the explosion. His mother was apparently unaware that he even owned this apartment here on Quince Orchard Boulevard. And so, again, the cause and manner, and apparently police have actually found a suicide note. They aren't calling it a suicide note, they're calling it a note, but it is apparently a suicide note. Here's what the chief had to say.
At this moment in time, we have no information to believe that Mr. Quizon intended for other individuals to be injured or harmed in this particular incident. But I will state, as I noted yesterday, as this being a probable criminal investigation, it is a criminal investigation for the fact that if Mr. Quizon was still with us, still living, that he would have been criminally culpable in this case.
Now, investigators still have to figure out exactly how this happened. Did Quizon turn on the knobs on his gas stove? They have the gas stove. They're looking at that. They aren't certain yet. They're trying to put all these pieces together.
¿Cómo está ahorita?
Pues, gracias a Dios, bien.
Thanks be to God, we're good, said Marlon Rosa and Jose Cruz. Just one of a dozen or so families allowed briefly back into their apartments to grab what they could.
Ropa, unos zapatos, unos abrigos, nada malo necesario, los documentos.
Rosa and Cruz had 10 minutes to get clothes, shoes, and documents for themselves and their two sons. A big excavator dissecting the rubble with the precision of a surgeon with the forceps and scalpel. Police and fire investigators watching from above. At one point, they looked closely at what appeared to be a piece of fabric of some kind, but it is unclear why. They're focused on one particular apartment where they found a body, and we know firefighters want to examine the gas stove from that unit and the rest of them.
Right there. I mean, that room, that's my room.
And then it's right over here.
Right over here, yep.
Neighbors say they are terrified, and so are their children.
First they said that, it was the gas leak, and then now it's somebody did it on purpose. I don't really know what to think.
Just to think that someone would put other people's lives at jeopardy is beyond.
Firefighters say a cadaver dog alerted Thursday on a spot at the top of the rubble pile. They removed more material and pulled a body out, sending it to the medical examiner to identify and pinpoint a cause and manner of death. 5 years ago, Montgomery County investigators determined that another home explosion in Rockville was suicide, that the homeowner had shot himself and his dog before the house blew up. The destruction from this explosion and massive fire makes investigators' work even more difficult.
And there's little kids that go to school like every day. Sad.
What do you say to somebody who could do something like this?
They got a place for you.
So the fire investigators tell us that they did have an accelerant dog, an accelerant sniffing dog on the scene here, and that dog apparently alerted on an accelerant here. What that is, how it worked with this explosion, we don't know, but police believe this was a suicide. Back to you guys.
Yeah, each layer of this story is just so tragic. Bruce, thank you so much. And we can't say this enough. If you or someone you know is struggling right now, you can get help. It is available. You can call or text the National Suicide Lifeline. That number is simple. It's right there on your screen. Just 988. And we know so many of you want to step in and help those families tonight. So take out your phone, scan that QR code. The official fundraiser with Montgomery County's Housing Partners, Making Home Possible, has a website where you can donate. The county says 100% all of the money raised will go to the people affected by this explosion. You can also find information on how to help right now at WUSA9.com.